Hi everyone, I'm back again. Sorry to keep you waiting again, but I have an idea now. Now I have my plan for going forward. So here's what's happening. Um, I'm still continuing with my sabbatical through the rest of June, and then I'm going to be launching a whole new, offering a whole new approach for IEP and how we interact with it to get all of the free possibilities it offers, to give those free classes into people's hands so that their lives can be better, so people can stop processing their pain and erasing it. So I know I really want to do that. So I needed the break. I apologize. I am going to postpone my second part of lymphedema until my next share, but because I want to talk about the fact that I'm actually just resting from surgery again. I had a Diep flap, which is basically where they cut out your stomach and connect it to the blood vessels to replace your breast. And it's a microvascular surgery. And the thing that was hard is, first of all, everyone warned me it would be painful and horrible, and I would be miserable. And I, like I always do, was saying, I'll be fine. It's no big deal. Sure, I'll be in ICU for 4 days, but that's not a big deal. They're just monitoring. So, because what they have to do is bring up blood vessels and actually sew the blood vessels together. So I figured it was just the detail of it, but it was, I think, a total of 15 hours of surgery, or 13, something like that, because after the first part of the surgery, after the first 13 hours, I was throwing up and popped a cap and hemorrhaged and went back into surgery again. So I am 3 for 3, or what you might call 6 for 6 on surgery. I have had a complication every time, so that's kind of hilarious. But anyway, somebody asked me how I feel, and I feel like Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. But what I want to talk about today is the autopilot of breast cancer. I'm a person that never in my life ever wanted anything to do with implants. If you have them, I don't judge. I just never wanted them for me. Sorry, it's a little hot. Let me get that out of my way. And yet, when I had the cancer removed, I allowed them to start to put expanders into my body. I didn't want those expanders because you're in the state of shock from the news and pain and decision making, and you are trying so hard to figure out what to do next. And you have these amazing doctors that have great experience, and you have homeopaths, and you have neighbors and friends and everybody who has opinions and knows people who've had cancer. You know, there are hundreds of kinds of breast cancer alone. So if you know me and my breast cancer story, that only applies to a fraction of people who get breast cancer. So my breast cancer story, with all of that incoming data and trying to think, I made the decision to just kind of trust the process. And I think I went into a bit of an autopilot because I was still managing my business. I was still working. I took very little time off work to recover even from the sepsis. I was back to work in 3 days after getting out of the hospital. So, and working a double shift. That was terrible. That should have never happened. But the point is that I kind of went into this autopilot of not knowing why I was doing what I was doing. And so you've seen my videos and you know the story of the journey, but having this Diep flap was the first real voluntary part of this breast cancer journey for me, where it wasn't a necessary surgery for my survival, in a sense. Because even with the implant illness, I I needed that second expander out of my body. So that was a necessary surgery, but this wasn't. This was completely up to, for most people, trying to regain something they lost. And I never felt that. I did have a certain visual of how my tattoo will look, but it really didn't need to impact it that much. And I really didn't hate how I looked without breasts. So I spent a lot of time this week wondering why I did it. And I'm just going to be as clear as I can possibly be on what I understand today, because I spent a week in the hospital wondering, why did I do this to myself? I literally have been cut into pieces and sewn back together. It's an excruciating process. I actually had some sewing done while I was awake. A very, very traumatic experience. So why did I do it? Not why did I do it, but why did I do a process? Did I think about it? Did I contemplate or imagine what this meant? And I realized today, which is what I wanted to share, why I did it. There was something from a future. So everyone who knows me knows in my work, after you get past the suffering point in the early stage of the program, it's all about re-identifying into the full potential of who you can be and having that full potential change all the time and not locking into an identity. So I'm always working from the perspective of my potential, not from who I am today. And the subconscious mechanisms within me that know more about that potential than my conscious mechanisms actually made this decision. And I remember stopping and doing a contemplation and asking, is this what I should do? And for people that get that internal knowledge or communication, whether it's spiritual or chemical or hallucination or whatever, to me, it is the most intelligent part of my brain speaking to the most limited part of my brain, my prefrontal cortex, because it's the most limited thinking, because it only understands what it knows. But that genius supercomputer said, do this, you want this. And I don't know why I wanted it. It's excruciating. I'm in so much pain. But I am recovering. I'm recovering well. I'm taking good care of myself. And by July 1st, I am going to be rolling out a whole new possibility with IEP. It's not going to be what it was before, because I think part of my journey through the hospital transformed me. And I don't know all of the ways this will happen. I know I'll have a couple other minor surgeries in front of me because they had to focus on the veins and not the other fine tuning of this surgery. But I suddenly know I'm on a very specific path, and I know how that path looks, about not having people need me. And I've always wanted that. Have you not need me for empowerment, but to go beyond that and have you be so confident in that empowerment that you can empower others, and we can get this information out, because I don't think there's information at this level that's free out there, and people deserve it. So that's all I'm going to share for now, because I'm into my 9 minutes, and I just wanted to touch base. Again, I may not touch base again until July, but then after that, I will let you know my regular schedule and where to look for me on social media. So thank you all. Thank you all for being here, for being supportive, for being a part of what I've done all these years. It's finally coming to fruition. It's finally a thing that can help change people's suffering. We relieve the suffering in the world. So I hope everybody has a great day. If you don't know much about my program and you want to know, go ahead and send me an email or send me a message on social media. I'm happy to send you all the information I can. I hope you all have beautiful days, and know that I love you dearly. And just see all of us in this amazing, beautiful, successful place. Bye.